Okay, well, happy Monday, everybody. And I was going to even do a video last night, and I was going to put, because again, um, I tell people, look, if you don't want to watch my videos, again, that's fine. I don't expect everybody. I mean, at the end of the day, I love y'all, and I wish all good things and peace, and you know, but at the end of the day, I don't mean to talk about haters all the time, because actually, even last night, the only reason I made that video, honestly, again, I don't make videos just because I just want to sit and ramble and, no, I do it for good reasons and good purposes, you know. And the one last that I did, the good purpose, because at the end of the day, no, man, and even in the comment, like, I appreciate y'all in the comments, and believe me, I know that Bubba guy, Fred, or, whoever, not because, even that's why I try to tell Jeffrey and even Michael Lambert, both, because Jeffrey more than anything, because, I mean, I know because they tag him like they do Michael Lambert all the time, so, like, it's, but I even tell them, it don't matter, even if they're tagging you, it's just, you have to ignore them. They're tagging you because, again, man, they want to get a rouse out of you. They want to get you aroused, and like the guy, yeah, they want to get you worked up. They want to, and that's why for me, and again, why I made the video yesterday saying that, yes, I'm not fighting a war with these haters that don't need to be, because, and that's very true. Because at the end of the day, it is, it's a war that don't need to be. Because at the end of the day, I'm sick and tired, I got more important things and better things to worry and this and that, not people on social media that just, they pretty much show that it's more or less them than you, that they just want to live a hateful, depressing, gloomy, whatever you want to even say, life. And it's like, all I could say is, you know what? I pray for you. You're the kind of people I pray to God, and that helps, break that chain of you just wanting to be held over by darkness and hate and this and that. That's all I can really say, because other than that, it's like, again, I'm sick and tired of it, and that's, but again, I also just make videos like this to help other people, because again, in case, because I know some of you have a hard time dealing with the hate, and I don't mind making videos talking about it, because you know what, if it somewhat helps, hey, awesome, great. But like I said, if you don't want to listen, you don't have to watch, because you guys know, and I said this dozens of times, I don't mean to sound like a broken record, on repeat, but I don't do this for the views or for the fun of it, for the, but so at the end of the day, it's like, dude, no, man, I'm not getting on here blabbing and rambling about, haters for publicity or whatever. It's like, no, dude, that's where, you see, you're really getting ahead of things, and where, like I said, where people act like they know you so good, and it's like, no, dude, you really proved that, no, you don't, man, because that's really not the case, man. Like I said, but yeah, like I said, I just, again, if I want to get on and talk about things, like I said, if you want to watch, you can watch. If you don't want to watch, again, like, again, I don't force nobody to watch, like, if you really don't want to watch and listen, it's like, again, at the end of the day, I'm not forcing you, so that's why I always say I don't need to hate negative comments, complaining because you don't like listening to me. It's like, dude, look, okay, again, love and respect, but it's like, man, you don't have to watch, if you don't like, if you don't like listening, then it's like, you don't have to watch, man, or listen, nothing's forcing you, man. We have the freedom, man, to, if we don't like something, or we don't like, to just move on. Nothing holds you there, man. Just like everybody has a right to their opinion. Everybody has a right to support whatever they want. Everybody has a right to be themselves, express themselves, Quit allowing those negative, hateful people slow you down or try to control you, man. The problem is like I said, man, when you're a happy, positive, good person, and that's the kind of people that they love to go attack because they just can't stand it. They don't love seeing you smile or being positive or giving out good encouraging or what, they don't like that. That's why that's why they come at you, because they just don't like it. They're the people that they just don't like you doing so good for yourself. And it's like, but they just don't wake up and like, well, you know what, you could be doing good for yourself too if you would stop bullying or you would stop putting other people down. You could be doing just as good as that person. But they don't. So, but no, that's why I made that yesterday, because like I said, and like I tried always telling Jeffrey, because again, Jeffrey's always sharing, and again, I don't mind it, because if I can throw out some advice or say something, but, you just can't. You need to stop, because at the end of the day, they're just trying to get a rouse out of you, anger. And that's why, none of these people tag me in anything. But even if they did, I just don't pay attention. You know what I mean? I'm not going to post it. I'm not going to, because at the end of the day, I know that's what they're waiting for. And it's like, no, dude. And like I said, again, in the video yesterday, if people want to be suckers and fools and believe the bullshit that they're saying without even, again, doing digging, okay, but, is it true or not? It's like, again, man, that's not really my issue, my problem, man, because, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I don't really bother nobody. I don't really, nose into anybody's, business. Like, if you want to talk about it, hey, let's talk. If you don't, that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, I don't pressure somebody, honestly, to really talk about anything. If you really don't, I just give you the option, like, hey, man, if you want to talk about it, hey, it may help, hey, maybe, but hey, again, it's not a pressure. If you really don't, then hey, it's cool, but, so, it's like, yeah, you want to believe the bullshit these haters are saying. It's like, at the end of the day, people, the kind of country, the world, honestly, I should say, not, we're living in where people can make, anything can make believable, people are just out there for the drama, chaos, anymore, and you just can't feed into it, but again, it's hard to believe, because like I said, you know what I mean, like, it doesn't matter what you hear or where you hear it, like, you know what I mean, like, you don't know, okay, yeah, man, but is that true? Did it really happen that way? Because there's always more to something, like, and I know that for a fact because, I've seen it, man. I've seen stuff where, exactly, like, people make videos like, yeah, man, they're lying to you. They're lying to us. Like, they're not telling you really the truth. That's why it's like, you can't believe things that you hear. So that's why I just like, you know what, man? And again, I don't mean this out of rudeness, but it's like, if you do, you want to be a sucker, you want to, you want to be fooled, allowing yourself to be gaslighted and manipulated. I'm not, no, like I said, you telling me that these haters say I have a secret Discord where I'm talking to underage kids, you want to be suckered into that bullshit? That's, honestly, like I said, I just, again, pray for you. I feel sorry for you. Because at the end of the day, you're believing nothing but bullshit, lies. Because, number one, dude, I'm not that sick and twisted and disgusting. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing that stuff at all, period. And that's why, like, I get people coming over and you're attacking me and telling me saying, why are you talking to underage kids on Discord? It's like, dude, all I'm going to say to you, why are you such a fool? Because you're believing haters. You're believing people that are making up bullshit. So you know what? Don't come to me, because me telling you that that's not true and I'm not doing that, you're probably still not going to believe me. And that's a shame. So you would rather believe somebody telling you bullshit. It don't matter how freaking believable they're making it. Because let me guess, they probably made a Discord and stealing my stuff and making it look like it's me. Yeah, not a surprise. That's what these people do. They'll steal your profile, they'll steal your name, and act like you, even though they don't really do that good of a job. It's like, again, people, I know how it is. And that's what I mean. You allow yourself to be fooled. You know, you allow yourself to be manipulated. And I just, no, it's like, again, man, I'm done. You know, I'm focused on taking care of myself, focusing on what's right, focusing on the good Lord above, and, you know, good friends, family. I don't give it, you know, these haters and these people that do the bullshit that they want to do, that's on them. They can keep doing as much as they want, whether it's towards me or anybody else. It's like, no, man, just let them go. You just keep doing what you're doing. Let them do their freaking bullshit. And like I said, if people want to be fooled and suckered, you know, it's like, and again, I'm not trying to mean that in harsh but again, people, like, it don't matter how freaking believable it may look. Why are you just, you know, trust your instinct? You know, even though it looks okay, how believable, how do you know though, man, that it's 100% true? And you're not even taking the time to go look into it. You know what I mean? Like, you're not even taking any time to go look into it. You're just immediately believing what you know. And it's like, people, nowadays, you can't do that. You got to look into everything. You know what I mean? Like, make sure, is it really true? Is it really, you know, legit? But like I said, you know, no, like I said, I make videos for good purpose, man. It's not because I'm just trying to show these haters that, yeah, man, you're really getting to me. No, it's like, no, dude. Again, y'all take things twisted. Y'all get things the wrong way. Because me making videos talking about haters is not me showing that these haters are getting to me. Because, no, dude, because I don't give a shit. They can say what they want. I'm not debating and fighting with them. Like I said, they can tag me as much as they please, and I'm not giving it the time of day. Okay? If I'm going to give my time, I'm going to go give my time to something important. Not them. Not these people. So, and I just make videos because I want to make it well known to these haters that y'all can keep hating. Y'all can tag me in your bullshit, but I'm still not going to give you the time of day that you're looking for. I'm sorry. So, but anyway, guys, I just wanted to say that, you know, again, like I said, you don't have to watch my videos. Again, I don't force anybody. You know, if you don't want to listen, that's fine. I'm not going to think any less or any different of you. But I just make these videos for good reasons, you know. But, you know, like I said, majority of it is I'm just trying to give encouragement, positivity. And, hey, if it could help somebody out, you know, it has nothing to do with the haters are getting to me. Or I'm trying to give them, you know, what they're really looking. It's like, no, dude, it's not. Again, that's where you're really taking it out of content. That's not really my agenda and what I'm doing, you know. Because, so, but again, you know, like I said, it is what it is. Everybody just has their perspective, and I understand that. So that's why I just don't try to debate or argue with people. I just, nope, let it go, man. That's why I tell myself, just brush it off, you know, brush it off. Just let it go, you know. So, but anyway, guys, thank you all, and sorry for the long ramble, but again, guys, it's just stuff that needs to be said. It needs to be said, you know, whether you want to listen or not, you know, but I just want people to at least, you know, somewhat understand, you know. But I just think, again, when it boils down to these haters, just let them keep hating. Stop giving them the reactions. Stop posting their stuff on your page and say, hey, don't let them, like I said, if people want to keep believing their lies and people want to keep being manipulated, there's nothing you can do, man, you know? I don't know why people don't take the time to look into things. Like I said, doesn't matter how believable it may look. You know, people just don't realize nowadays how people can easily manipulate, edit, make things so realistic, you know. No, man, nowadays it's hard to trust, you know. You got to look into things. You can't just instantly believe it, you know. But anyway, I'm shoving off. I'm taking off.